take 500. Welcome everyone to the Big Gun 81 channel. I'm your host, Rick, aka Big Gun 81. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's video. I hope you're all doing well. Today we have for you the KE Arms lower parts kit with their drop-in trigger here. And KE Arms is actually out of Arizona. They're in Phoenix, Arizona. And you're going to be seeing a lot of their components coming up in the 50 States of AR-15 project for the Arizona rifle build. So stay tuned for that. So what we have here in this lower parts kit, like I may have mentioned, the drop-in trigger that they have. It's a DMR trigger. Not sure what the DMR stands for actually, but it's basically a single stage drop-in trigger with a pretty light trigger pull, and it's finished in a titanium nitride. It also comes with this X-Tech Tactical, say that 5 times fast, grip, which we're going to check out all the components that come inside in just a moment. So let's take a look. So let's open it up and take a look and see what's inside. Well, we have the X-Tech Tactical Grip, which is kind of unique. Check this out. 2 pieces, right? See the serrations on here, if you want to call them that. Kind of little teeth. There's little teeth inside there. You can change your grip angle, you know, to kind of fit what you like. Kind of a neat idea, like that. And then, of course, we also have their drop-in trigger here. Very nice trigger. Has a little bit of grease installed on it. So forth. We're going to kind of go over installing this trigger into a receiver set. Next we got a little black bag. Well, let's take a look and see what's inside there. Kind of lay everything all out. Well, we have the bolt catch. Kind of move. I'm going to take all this stuff out and take a look and lay everything all out so you can see it. So we have the bolt catch, the safety selector spring, the safety detent, the spring and little plunger for the bolt catch. Got a roll pin. That's all that was inside this black bag. Then we got the blue bag. Okay, inside here we have our buffer retainer, a buffer retainer spring, our takedown pin springs, our 2 takedown pins, and a takedown pin detent. In our weight bag, we have this nice polymer trigger guard here. Kind of a cool thing. Of course, we got our star washer for our grip screw. Also came with a nice Allen wrench here too, so you can tighten up your grip without having to worry about finding tools if you don't have them. Also the roll pin for the trigger guard here. And we got a magazine release, or magazine catch. Then of course in the clear bag we have our ambidextrous safety selector and our 2 hammer and trigger pins. Also have 2 Allen wrenches for the safety selector as well. Actually, one's for the safety selector and one is actually for the trigger. Of course, you got 2 screws on the side of the safety selector, you know, for the levers. You know, they have one that they left loose, which is going to be. You can actually flip this around, kind of cool. Looks like you can make this one into a 60 or 90 degree throw. Kind of a cool feature. I actually kind of like the 60 degree throw because it's just shorter and quicker and faster. And we're going to go ahead and install the trigger assembly, the grip, and the safety selector in a rifle that we have. The rest of the components are actually going to be used in the 50 States of AR-15 project for the Arizona rifle, along with the KE Arms receiver set. Here we go. Actually mounted inside the better building block from the average gun guy. Really awesome armorer's block, which you'll check out in a video coming soon. But let's go ahead and grab the rifle and go ahead and do the install. First thing, always make sure your firearms are safety checked when you're working on them. That's kind of given. No cartridges in the chamber, no ammunition. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get our trigger situated. Now, the trigger actually has, it's kind of hard to see, a couple set screws on each side of the fire control assembly there. And what you do is basically put the trigger in place. We'll see how it fits. Might be kind of snug because this is a polymer receiver, but we'll see. We'll get it in place. And once we have it in place, we can get the trigger and hammer pins in place. Then we go back and we adjust our set screws to basically hold this trigger into the receiver set. I also want to mention that on those set screws inside there, you may want to put a little blue thread locker. They actually mention it inside the instructions on here. So I got the safety selector configured how I want to use it. In my case, I want to use the 60-degree throw, and I'm going to set up to be right-handed, so I'm going to have the longer lever on the left-hand side. So I got the trigger in place, but it's not. There's no pins installed in it yet. I'm going to go ahead and slip this on through. I have to wiggle things around a little bit to get it to go. See, it's in place now. You can go ahead and install the other side of this safety selector. The other lever on it. Again, just a small little dot of blue thread locker would be a good idea here. I'm going to probably pull it apart, so I'm not going to worry right now. But if I was building this to stay together for some time, I would definitely recommend using a little bit of blue thread locker on the threads here. Will it come apart? Probably not, but could it? Sure, why not? So next, now that we got the safety selector in place, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our grip. And in this case, we're actually going to be switching things up. We're going to go with the X-Tech Tactical Grip, and we're going to go ahead and install the supplied with the K-Arms kit, their little detent pin. Kind of like the idea of using, components that mate together. And I'm going to go ahead and get the safety selector spring here. Okay, going to go ahead and install the grip. First, start with the first half, the top half of the grip. Okay. So I got the trigger and hammer pins installed. I'm going to go ahead and install the caps, these little set screws that this to the receiver has. Now, you may have just typical hammer and trigger pins and no set screws like this, or you might have some anti-walking pins or whatever. So go ahead and install them however they're meant to be installed, and then afterwards we're going to go ahead and tighten up the set screws inside the trigger housing that hold it nice and firmly to the receiver. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten up the two set screws on each side of the receiver. Kind of hard to see, but they're down in there on each side. And this is a polymer receiver, so it might be a little different than doing an aluminum receiver. They kind of feel like they'll snug up against something a little more plasticky than hard metal. But yeah, they're nice and snug and tight. So let's go ahead and test out the trigger and kind of see that our safety selector works or doesn't. So we're off safe. Pull the trigger. I'm not going to let the hammer drop because I don't have my my tool for doing that. And of course, with it unsafe, it's not going anywhere. And I do like the 60-degree throw of this safety selector, and of course everything's new, so we're going to break it in a little bit. And I do like the fact that this X-Tech Tactical Grip does have an adjustable grip angle. You can angle it however you need it. So I might play with that a little bit to get it kind of dialed in. I kind of like this black and gold theme, though, I tell you. It kind of makes me want to have some more components on this rifle in the titanium nitride finish. Maybe like a titanium nitride bolt or something, I don't know. But anyhow, that's pretty much that. We're going to go ahead and reassemble the rifle and go test it out later. But just want to kind of give you a basic overview of the KE Arms lower parts kit, including the DMR trigger by KE Arms here, and how to basically install one. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go out and have some fun shooting.